Have you ever heard the sound of sirens in the middle of the night? I have, and it was terrifying. In Washington state, along the coast, this happens regularly every time a thick fog rolls in. Locals will hear the sound of sirens calling their names in their mother's voice. That doesn't sound like something that would happen in our world. It sounds like an episode of The Twilight Zone. Now, there are many theories about what could be causing this strange occurrence, but we don't know for sure. What we do know is that people who live along the coast of Washington are no strangers to this phenomenon. It happens so often that they've even given it a name, the Sirens of the Fog. The first written account of these sirens dates back to 1850, when a man named George Vancouver wrote about hearing a strange noise while sailing along the coast. He described it as the sound of a human voice calling out to him from the shore. Now, obviously, we can't verify if this actually happened or if it was just some figment of his imagination. But it's a good story nonetheless. What we do know is that the U.S. Lighthouse Service began investigating reports of the sirens in the fog. In the early 1900s, they sent out a team to try and track down the source of the sound, but they came back empty-handed. Couldn't find anything that sounded like a woman's voice calling out to seafarers. Now, here's where things get really interesting. In 1930, a U.S. Navy pilot named Donald Kehoe was flying along the coast when he heard a woman's voice calling out to him. Now, normally, this wouldn't be too strange. After all, there are plenty of houses along the coast, and it's not unheard of to hear someone shouting from shore. But Kehoe was flying over the ocean, well off the coast, and the voice he heard was definitely not human. It was the voice of a siren. He reported the incident to the Navy, who then launched an investigation. A team was sent out to try and locate the source of the sound, but once again they came back empty-handed. They couldn't find anything that sounded like a woman's voice calling out to seafarers. Now, here's where things get really creepy. People began to report hearing the sirens more and more frequently, and not just along the coast of Washington, but along the coasts of Oregon and Northern California as well. The voices were said to be so realistic that they could make a person stop and listen. The worst part was that they seemed to be getting closer and closer to shore. Some people believe that the sirens are the voices of women who have drowned at sea, and that's probably the most romantic of the theories out there. Others believe that they're the voices of evil spirits that lure sailors to their doom. And still others believe that they're just a figment of the imagination. There are even some who believe that the sirens are real, and that they re-trying to warn us of danger. Perhaps they re-trying to warn us of the rising sea levels, or the damage that humans have done to the environment. Or maybe they're just trying to warn us of the dangers of the sea. After all, sirens are known to be dangerous creatures. They lure sailors to their deaths with their beautiful voices. Maybe they're just doing the same thing here, only instead of luring sailors to their deaths, they're just warning them of the danger that lies ahead. Whatever the case may be, I think it's safe to say that we may never know for sure. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more stories like it, stay tuned. And if you have a scary story of your own, share it in the comments below. Who knows, it might even be featured in a future video. Thanks for watching. See you next time.